Alright, so let's start this off. So, today we're going to be learning the BTM. Now, the BTM's obviously an abbreviation for Broken Technique and Management. Each one of those revolve around the Bison and how to deal with it. First thing we're going to deal with is the technique because it's the easiest thing we can get down. Now, when it comes to the Bisons, if you look in the MGS right now, you'll see it's got the full loadout that's on the 19th training dock. Now, unless you're in Echo 2, which has a slightly different loadout, which Drifter will be getting set up that's medically focused, you don't need to worry about that too much. But what you have to get down at the beginning of the op, you are the ones who load this shit in. Now, it's best to just get acquainted with it and just get it down to a T of who's getting what. Delegating who gets the ammo, who gets the medical supplies, who gets the utility stuff, like the C12 charges, the cable ties, the earplug stuff like that. Getting that down for the technique. On top of that, there's also when we come back to a fob position, if we return to a fob position and our Bisons don't blow up. When that happens and we get back, the engineer's focus is to go find a repair truck, while the Armoured's focus is to resupply any supplies that have been used from a nearby arsenal. Now, most cases when it comes to the repair truck, it will be near air. So, once you've finished repairing the Bison, you will have to take it back. Just to give you an image of what it looks like. If you look to my right, you'll see it. That's what the repair truck looks like. That's what the repair truck looks like. There is also the recovery hog. It could be either of the two. It's either the recovery or those. It'll be either one. Either way, you can't repair the Bison without one of those two nearby. And when you do get one of those nearby, you just look at the Bison that's damaged, interact with it, and you should see an option that says full repair, and you can repair it, no problem, but it can get out. But if you do have to take that from wherever air's needing it, when you're finished, drive it back, and whoever's driving the Bison, if they want to follow along the repair truck, if it's fully restocked, so that whoever's returning it can just hop in that and you guys can get the fuck out away from the base quicker and back to the front line. And just refining the technique so we can get that down to a fucking science. So we can go back to the base and be back out in 10 minutes or less. Makes our lives just a hell of a lot easier. That's really all it is about technique, is just getting down, filling up the Bison. Obviously, since you both are Echo 2, you guys have a more medical-based loadout. And Drifter is going to get that all done up and loadout set so you guys know what you need to put in so you can diversify what the fuck you put in there. But until that's set up, this is the kit. It's on the training dock. You guys can look at it whenever and get used to loading what you need to know. Try and communicate either prior to the op or during when set up what the fuck you're getting. Like, communication is key. Alright, that's really all it is for the technique there. Let's move on to the broke feature of this. Now, broke is going to be in the field. It's when we're moving and when we're actually in combat. So we're going to load up in the IFV and we're going to go down to fucking Purgos and we're going to basically test out what we do when we need to decrew from the Bison and how the fuck we operate. Right, everyone hop in. Drifter, do you want to drive or gun? Harold, sorry. Do you want to drive or do you want to be the gunner? Right. Alright. One more thing I will say. Kowalski, you can hear me, right? Kowalski. Yeah, if you can hear me, go to short range 500. You too, Harold. Both of you get on 500. Lima Charlie. Harold, do you want 500? Yep. Yeah, give us a fucking radio check on 500.
Radio check.
Lima Charlie. Alright, so, something that I do want to inform you both about is the engineers that are assigned to both Echo 1 and Echo 2. You guys are going to be trained to basically operate as an extra crewman if someone can't make it. So say if Kowalski, you and Drifter are there, but Harold is unable to make it, or Harold and you are there, but Drifter is unable to make it, you can act as his gunner or driver, no problem, because you know what the fuck you need to do. Drifter is going to get you and Gray, and he's going to go into that in more detail with you two. And get it so that you guys understand what you need to do and also how the fuck that works out. Another thing, this isn't cemented yet, but there is the possibility of us getting another Bison frame. It's not 100% confirmed yet, but it's in talks right now. Alright, what else to say? Alright, so obviously, keeping to what we've been trying to cement, try to keep your speed when you're going into a town low to a degree. But also make sure your fucking head's on a swivel in case there are AI about. Because you never want to be fucking caught with your pants down, especially if somebody has an RPG. Because again, this thing's a fucking butterfly when it comes to the Halo rocket launcher, because it takes 2 rockets to kill us, which isn't great. And in recent fucking checks, the fucking vehicles of armor like to blow the Bison up like it's fucking no tomorrow. It's quite the bitch. Alright. So, when something like this happens, when we hit an fucking IED or something, or an explosion happens to us, here and now, either the commander, whoever, whatever position they're in, driver are going to have to decide if the Bison's wants to continue, or if we think it's time to fucking dismount and call it a ground game. If it is a dismount and go ground game, somebody, mostly the engineer, will go into the inventory of the Bison and grab the 2 C12 charges just in case the Bison has to be scuttled. If that's the event, it's most likely going to be when we're retreating, and we can't risk fucking getting like 8 Marines blown up because we weren't paying attention to rockets and shit. In this case, we don't have the C12 in because I wasn't 100% sure if that vehicle would have killed us or not. Alright, so when it comes to dismounting, after we've decided that we're ditching the Bison, it will grow the engineer, the driver, and then the gunner's the last man out. So when it comes to be calling it, when a Bison blows, someone over the radio is going to call out broken. That's when you're going to fucking call it. So you're going to go, what Bison you are. So this is going to be Echo 2, broken. And you're going to dismount. Echo 2, broken. Alright. Once you've broken, gather up behind at the back of the Bison or near cover, depending on how fucked the Bison is. If we're in heavy combat, just get cover and start returning fire at hostiles. If not, leave it be. Alright, once we're broken, it becomes a ground game, so you've got to use infantry tactics. At this point, depending on what you've got equipped, it goes who's the fucking CQC. In this case, Harold would go for our main breacher for buildings and shit when we need to clear it. So taking this building here, what we're going to do is we're going to do a fucking 2-man breach, because in my personal opinion, it's the most effective and least gun obstructing fucking one. So Kowalski, Drifter, stack up on the broken building to our right. Drifter, you're going to be the point man. Kowalski, you're going to be the second man. You guys are going to be breaching this building. Drifter, you're going to be on point. Koalas is going to be following you up. Now, sorry, Harold. It's just fucking. I'm so used to Drifter with a fucking LR on his back. Sorry. All right, Harold. You're going to fucking be point, and then Kowalski is going to be second man behind you. You two are going to clear through the building, and you're just going to go as it is. When you're entering into a building, always make sure you're peeling to the right corner, especially on a building that's like this where it's fucking focused on the right. There's no left side of the room mainly. You will look directly ahead, then you will sweep right. Man behind you is going to sweep the opposite direction if the room's equal. That's for the rooms you go into. So you can go breach whenever you want. Just make sure you call out ready so that the second man behind you knows to start moving. While you guys are doing this, other members, whoever was with your bison, the third man's going to watch the fucking back door and make sure no one comes up your ass. Keep your gun on the door just in case fucking AI do decide to fucking move out. Just say if you're just ask if Kowalski's ready, and when he says you're ready, you just say when you're ready to go.
You ready, Kowalski? Alright, let's go.
Alright, come on back out. Yeah, come back out. Alright. Yeah. When it comes to breaching shit like this, when you got a 2-man stack, when one person says they're ready, i.e. me, I'll say fucking point man ready. Then the second person says they're ready, then point man say fucking pushing in. Then you say what side you go in. So I'm gonna say pushing in, going right. One door stairs to our right, holding on door. Try and communicate as much as possible with whoever's with you. So if you've got another room and there's a door, say door and stairs, because there's 2 things here. You've got a door and you've got a staircase. If you say you're watching the door, your teammate can then come in and watch the stairs. When you guys decide if we're going to breach the door or stairs, you then say breaching door. The other person will stack up behind you, and you breach in as you would with the door behind you. So you breach in. Whoever's first says which side they're going. So breaking right, breaking left, whichever side you go, then you continue on. Once the room's clear, you pull back and then you clear the second floor. First person going up says going up, second person's following, and so forth. You clear the room, and if there's any extra doors or windows, you call that shit out and you decide based on priority which to go. Is there a door on the room? Yes, no. If there's not a door, focus that, because you won't hear a door opening. If it does have a door and there's a balcony, check the balcony first, because somebody could come through a window. Alright, did you guys get that? Alright, if you guys got that, alright, breaching again.
What?
Were you listening to any of that, Harold?
I'm falling off. My brain is just dying slowly.
Alright, when it comes to breaching a door...
It's more like, what do you yell? Like...
What'd you say, Harold?
It's more the thing of what you yell when running inside.
Well, no, you wouldn't run inside. You'd fucking go slow because you're breaching. When you're going in, you say going in, and depending on how the door's laid out, you would say going right, going left. If you're going on the right side of the door, you're going to the right side of the door. If you're going left, you say you're going left. When you go into the first room, stop there, and survey what's going on. So once you go through this door, look at the room around you and say what's there. There's a door. There's an open door. There's a staircase. Then decide, as the point man, you make this decision. Do you clear the room first, that's right next to you, or do you go up the stairs and clear the second floor first? Do you understand?
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright then. Breach the building again.
Polsky? Breaking right.
Well, the only thing in here is staircase, second floor, open door, no door. Yeah, that's it pretty much.
Alright, now make the decision. What are you going to breach first? Are you going to take the stairs or are you going to take the door? To continue the breach.
Do you think Kowalski?
Quick question: who's supposed to be? We're going by the ranking of the vehicle.
Not by the ranking of the vehicle, who's got the most suited weapon. So in this case, it would be Harold because he's got the fucking CQC shotgun, so he's the point man. Because if he's behind you, if you're in front of him and he shoots, his pellets are gonna fuck you in the ass.
So who's the commanding in this situation?
When it would go to the point man, so Harold. If you've both got the same weapon, i.e. you've both got an AR, then it would be de facto whoever takes command in that instance. If the engineer, I would want the engineer mainly because they're more suited for it. But when it comes to different weapons and shit, it goes to whoever's got the best close quarters arrangement. So in this case, Harold would decide, would you take the open door that more enemies could easily pillow out of and trap you upstairs, or go up the stairs and clear that second floor first, then come back?
That's both my fate, right? But I don't know.
Alright, Kowalski, what would you choose in this scenario?
I would go for the door.
Alright then, let's breach the door then. So stack back up on the door.
Thing you don't know what's upstairs.
Well, you don't know what's upstairs, but while you're stacking on the door, if anything were to come down the stairs, you'd get fucked. But if anything came through the door, you would still get fucked. But in most cases, when you're stacked up like you are now, you're covering both sides. You're covering the door, and Kowalski's covering the stairs. When you, Harold, say you're set, and then Kowalski says he's set, you can say move in, you move into that room, clear it, and then you can come back and deal with the stair threat. Right. Breach when ready.
You say the last thing?
Breach when ready.
Okay.
Ready.
Let's go.
Make sure you're saying loud and clearly, even if you're just saying it over radio, what side you're going, so whoever's behind you knows what side to check when they come in. So if you go left, Harold, say going left, so Kowalski can focus his gun right. Alright. And each time you clear a room, make sure you fucking yell a nice and clear, nice and loud, clear, so that people know that the room's clear. Anyway, now that this room's been cleared, take the stair threat. You're still on point, Harold. You've still got the shoddy.
What?
You're on point, so you'd be the first man up. Now, first thing you've got to. I'll just do a small demonstration. When you're going upstairs, you've got two angles to watch. You've got directly above you, and then you've got to the right slightly. Because as soon as you come up here, in these buildings there is always a door to your right. So when you're coming up, you want to try and make as low a profile as possible, and check the top of the stairs. Then if the door's closed, don't worry about that straight away. On the left up here, there's going to be a window and a door. That window might have an AI in it. Most of the time, it's cleared out from outside by other infantry, but you never fucking know when an AI will wake up if they're put in a down state. So, eyes on the window, eyes on the door. Those are the two places to focus once the landing's clear. You all got that? Alright, good.
But is this the way we're clearing houses if we aren't certain if civilians are inside?
This is how you're clearing it if you don't know if civilians are about or not. If you know there aren't civilians, you can go. If you've got frags, you can frag clear this motherfucker like you've been taught. Hence why there's only. Hence why I'm doing this because civilians are a thing that's been implemented a lot recently. So hearts and minds.
Not even frags. Most
You could do a flashbang as well.
aren't that bulletproof either. You can just spray them with the light machine gun.
Yeah.
Right.
We aren't allowed to equip those though, which is kind of meh. Because we're well, no, we're doing this in the case that we can't use the Bison. Like the Bison's been disabled, or it's at the state where if we use it, we're going to immediately blow the fuck up. That's what this training's mainly about. It's the broken aspect from when we're away from the Bison, and we can't do what we've been trained to do and operate the Bison in. This is so that we know how to operate on the ground with each other. Because although the Marines have their own system and it works great, we're not as bad as the Marines. So we need our own system. That's good. Or in my opinion, better than the Marines. By the way, the whole system is not an acronym for better than the Marines at all. It's just called the BTM for purposes. Alright, anyway. Yeah. Back to clearing the second floor. So, Kowalski, do you want to try be point man for this second bit? Alright, Kowalski, you're the point man. Harold, you're behind him. So, Kowalski, when you're set and when you've got the affirmative from Harold, you're clear to breach.
Right, Harold, I'll check right front.
What?
You're gonna look that way first, and I'm gonna look this way. There could be something directly above us.
Ready?
To the right. One door to the left, to the right. Okay. You can check the door to the left. I'll cover the door to the right.
Alright, so in most cases here, there will be doors on both of these, whereas in this building there aren't. Since that door should be blocked off and you can't see in there, at this point, whoever's the point man can say, okay, go check that door. You go open that door and just check on the landing, see if there is anybody. If there isn't, come back and say it's clear. Then from there you can push on into the last room and clear that thing. So, Kowalski, take it away.
Harold, you check the balcony. I'll keep this door covered.
Here.
You're done. You can stack up on me. Are you ready?
Alright, one thing of note, when you're checking a balcony, like, just check out there. If you don't see, like, anybody by about here, it's clear. Like, don't expose yourself fully, especially in this case. Because the back end of the building we know is clear, but we don't know if this end is clear or not, so you could have been shot there. Small little bits like that can get you fucked up, but then again, there are a lot of fucking windows in this building. And because it's not like most where it's got them actually barricaded off, it's a very dangerous building to breach. But most of the time, if there's an environment where there aren't civvies, you chuck a grenade up here. Especially in somewhere this open. And then you just briefly come up and check the fucking inside. And if you see knocked out people, double tap them. And then you'd move on. Because it's clear at that point. But this is in case you're in a scenario where there are possible civilians and you don't want to, you know, be tried at the Space Hague for crimes against humans. Anyway, that's the fundamentals of Broke. Just being able to clear a building with 2 people, possibly 3 if you've got full free complement of the Bison. And most of the times that third person is going to be covering your ass, going to be watching what's behind you, so that you guys can clear effectively. In the case of downstairs with those stairs, they would be covering the stairs for you, while you guys cleared that room out. And then when you guys came back, he would be back on watching the entrance you came from. And besides that, that's really all there is to Broken, and being able to operate as an independent 3-man group. If you need to, like you lose somebody, I recommend you either link up with Aviation for an extraction to get another Bison, or roll with the main bulk of infantry and provide them support, because all engineers and crewmen of Echo are effective medics and engineers, so we can do anything they need us to do. Though the crewmen don't really or shouldn't carry the engineer equipment. That's more for Kowalski, Gray, and any other engineers we do have. So the crewmen are more rental medics, even if they're not particularly trained in it, but we can keep people alive. While the engineers are, if there's an ID, they can deal with it. If there's an issue that requires a vehicle, the engineers can deal with it. But yeah, that's the basics of Broke. And the last thing, management, is going with the Bison. Again, this is mainly to focus on infantry inside the Bison. If they need shit, making sure they get the shit they need out of it. Making sure that when they're leaving the Bison, they're as medic as we can do to them. That's about that. Like, this wasn't supposed to be anything like a massive trading thing. If anything, it would have been a when to call a Broken maneuver to get the fuck out of the Bison. That's mainly going to be up to whoever's in command of the vehicle, if they want to call that shit, because they don't think that the Bison can get the fuck out of there. Just get used to hearing Broken, Echo, followed by your number. If you hear your number being called, in your case Echo 2, you get the fuck out. Like, you don't question that shit, you get out, because it's your commander's order. If they say, like, okay, remount up, that's because whatever the fuck they were scared of is gone. Alright, any questions so far? Or you guys all got this?
Other stuff we could cover while we're here anyway, as a fire team.
Yeah, is there anything you want to go over in particular?
Sounding and towards contact.
Okay, yeah, we can.
Right.
Yeah, we can do that. Let's head back outside and we'll get over that. Alright, so in most cases, when we're bounding, I'm gonna have whoever the fuck's got the most ammo on their person, and preferably somebody who has the AR, to fucking, or in fact the SMG even when that finally gets re-added, to fucking lay down suppressing fire while people move. So in most cases, I'd want people to be in cover of some sort. So either behind that brick wall in front of you guys, or even behind the Bison even. So that we can start fucking moving around. So when it's to call, when we're calling for fucking bounding, whoever's the furthest away from the front, from where we're going, is the person who's going to move. So when we call, we're moving up. I'm going to say suppressing. Whoever's the furthest back, because the diamonds show us, you're going to say your name, moving. You're going to move up. You're not going to cross in front of whoever the fuck is firing. In this case, it will be me, because I've got the AR and I've got a fair few mags. Once you're set, Harold is going to move. Once Harold has moved and said he's set, because whenever you've finished moving, make sure you say you're set. So then the next person can say moving, Harold, in this case, and fucking move up behind you or near you. Once that's done, I will then say fucking Kowalski suppressing fire. You're gonna start suppressing, and then I'm gonna say Breaker moving. Everyone got that?
Yeah.
Alright.
Just doing it a little bit differently though, but it sounds cool.
Alright. Alright, we're gonna move down this road to... We're gonna continue moving down this road until we reach the pine tree next to the 2-story. Do everyone see that? Alright. Alright, providing suppressing fire.
Harold's moving up. Harold set.
Breaker reloading. Resuming fire. Breaker reloading. Breaker moving. Fucking hell. It's not great cover. Breaker set. It's not great cover.
Harold moving in.
Breaker reloading. Make sure you call out when you're reloading.
Harold set.
Breaker moving. Breaker set.
Harold moving up. Harold set.
Breaker reloading. Breaker moving up.
Kowalski reloading.
Shit, what's time? Breaker set.
Kowalski. Kowalski set. Harold moving up. Harold set.
Breaker moving. Breaker set.
Kowalski move. Kowalski set.
Breaker moving. Breaker set.
Herald moving. Herald set. Also moving.
Breaker reloading.
Also set.
Alright, and that's basically how it goes. If you've got a different weapon that's not an AR and you've got a shotgun, if either of the ARs you don't hear shooting or you hear them both reloading, just pop off a shot or two in the general direction you've seen them shooting, just so that the enemy's got constant fire, because the AI will respond to suppressing fire and they will fuck right off.
Well, I've got the slugs for loads. I can actually shoot from a distance.
Yeah, so you can shoot. It doesn't matter what ammo type you shoot at them, they will acknowledge it all the same, but slugs, if you see one, will fucking drop them. Alright, that's the particulars of bounding that I see work. And when it comes to fucking moving down a street like this, where there's not a lot of cover, just fucking dropping to your fucking knees into the dirt and fucking shooting from there, just so more people can get up, especially if you're one of the few with a automatic weapon. It can save someone's life, but if you do have to drop, pick like decent-ish cover from a direction. So if we're on the right side like I was, I dropped at the very edge of the fucking curb to provide support, so that at least my right was covered. And as such, and be aware that there are more. Obviously, could be more contacts anywhere, so be careful when bounding. Like acknowledge where you're taking fire from. For example, if we were taking hostile contact to the left side of this road, then be cautious of any of the buildings on the left side. If we've not taken any contact from the right, just keep eyes left in case you spot anything new. If there were a new variable while we were moving, for example, if you were shot by those stairs, Harold, we would have known that there may have been a contact on the right, so we'd have to hold our bounding, and fucking get you re-secured by using smokes and whatnot. Now, you said that was different to the bounding you did, Kowalski. What bounding are you used to?
Well, usually an open field, so there's little obstructions.
Is it way less likely to be stuck in an open field most of the time? Oh yeah.
We either contact from a column and it's left, right, or front. In a line first, facing the enemy, and then it's you with the body. So you only jump with the same person, and then two is you fire two shots, double tap, audible to your buddy that he knows you're covering his sector, and then he can jump 4 seconds, 122, and then he the double tap and you jump. It's pretty much just you hear this. It means your buddy is covering you, and once every few seconds you fire yourself a suppressive round, or if he sees visual target, and then if anybody has load, he will shout that he's reloading. And the bounding part of the buddy goes down immediately, picks up the sector, and the guy that is reloading will reload in his jump. So will sprint over, but the momentum isn't lost. And that's the very basic. And you have push left, push right. If someone on a sector, so let's say we have two people right next to each other, but one person is drifting off to the left more and more. The sector of the guy next to him will shout push left or push right. The person, the left and right is always in the active. You're moving. So if you're all running towards contact, left, push left is all in the direction we're facing It's a bit complex, but
Yeah, I remember fucking old unit I was part of. I remember learning something very similar to that. Main thing is, since we're fucking mainly a fucking inside a fucking metal death machine, we're mainly going to get fucked if we go CQC like terrain. So most of the time, we're just gonna do what we did there. We're gonna have whoever isn't moving covering, and whoever is moving once they're set, we start to go from furthest back forward, so we're still moving up. Most of the time, though, because we're not primarily infantry, infantry will do that for us. So if anything, we're going to be picking up the slack and grabbing either anything they need us to deal with, IEDs, or clear some buildings they need done. That's what we're mainly going to do, because more of the Marines, they're going to be like clearing out the fucking town more and pushing on the hostiles, whereas we should be just waiting for another Bison or reinforcements, because most of the time we would get reinsert of a Bison from air since we lost one, or can't get back to it because it's a bit fucked. In the case that we don't need to fucking like get rid of the Bison and we're able to fucking get back to it after so long, we'll head back, get the fucking thing, then call out on radio, Echo 2 fixed, RTB for rearm repair. You would go back to base and get yourself fixed up so that it's good to go again. You wouldn't stay in the battlefield after you've called a broken unless it was just to get the fuck out and get shit situated, because you thought you took a hit but you didn't. But the key thing is getting the Bisons back to base and getting them fixed the fuck up, because too many times in operations have we lost Bisons. And I want that shit to fucking stop. I don't want to lose Bisons anymore. I want them to get hit. I want them to get fucking annoyed, go back to base, get fixed up, then come back and bite the bitches back. It's the main thing with this training, so that we can effectively work with each other on ground. I believe Drifter is going to work with this more with Echo 2, and I'm going to try and get Echo 1 together, and we're going to try and do this ourselves more. And yeah, just making it so that Echo is the most efficient company in the entire of fucking the 19th. Right, any?
needs for repairs in combat, because obviously are the biggest, glass cannon sometimes.
Yeah, that's the
Basically,
we could get the Bison set up as we could get a vehicle to repair the Bison set up very easily. I'm currently like trying to communicate.
repair hog and a hog driving behind the combat, and then when the Bison needs repairs, just shoots forward, quickly repairs it, and then pulls back.
Yeah, I think what we can do is, instead of having like, if we've got full strength of all of us, then we can have the engineers, you and Gray, both get the recovery hog and use that. Or if the infantry's already got somebody assigned to a recovery hog, we just get their line, and you and Gray be in contact with them. And when we say we need them, you get in touch and tell them they're needed at so-and-so location. Because I believe the Marines might have somebody who works there as well, who does that. Could be wrong. No. I'm pretty sure they do, because I think last operation they did have somebody in a recovery hog moving the fuck around. But if they don't, then you and Gray, if we're full on, and Harold's here, I'm here, if for a Drifter. For all of you guys get that fucking recovery hog and you're the repair team. Because that way we'd be able to fucking actively repair infield. And if need be, we can send you and Gray to wherever there's mines needed, with one of the Bisons supporting. Alright. Yeah. Besides that, anything else anyone's curious about question wise?
Not really.
No? You good, Harold? Alright then, yeah. Then that's about it. That's the basics of the BTM. Yeah. Hopefully we can get more trainings in where we can get everybody going on, and we can do this effectively and get all of us working in sync. Both Echo 1 working their own separate thing and Echo 2. And if push comes to shove and we both break at the same time, the two of us going together and working as a 6-man to be an effective squad element. Yeah. But yeah, that's all I've got for you. So thank you guys for coming, spending some of your time. I don't know how late it is for you guys, but I thank you guys for coming when you could. Yeah. Anyway, I will catch you guys later. I hope to see you to the op tomorrow, and have a good one.